we take this break from the disaster that is Brad Miller to bring you this week's Bizarro Report. Alright, it was a pretty boring week in Bizarro League. So first we got Hugo versus Jeff. Hugo won in ESPN 12-3, and then in Bizarro League won 16-8. So no real advantage one way or the other for Bizarro categories. Outfield assist goes to Hugo because of 2 from Cespedes. And one takeaway here is that losses go to Jeff because Hugo had a lot more wins, but he also had 5 losses to Jeff's 1. So, and then Hugo loses points for 3 wild pitches, but he gets it back with a pickoff from Marcus Stroman. Moving on to Yuki versus Kair. This was a very close one in ESPN, 8-7 for Yuki, and it was close in Bizarro as well, 13-10. So again, pretty balanced. They balanced each other on errors, and Yuki gets an extra point for fielding percentage. Yuki gets outfield assist thanks to 2 from Starling Marte. Yu Darvish has great numbers for Yuki, but he also has 1 wild pitch and 2 stolen bases allowed, so that's not reflected in ESPN League and reflected in Bizarro League. But Kair's also was done in by wild pitches from his closers, which lost him a point, or 2 of his closers in wild pitches. All right, Jeebs versus Vu. In ESPN, Jeebs wins 10-3, and Yahoo, Jeebs wins 16-9. Vu gets extra points from a cycle from Will Myers, and then Jeebs balances that with a slam from Marcell Ozuna, who also got him an extra point for an outfield assist. Nothing else really very interesting going on here, except for Jeebs suffered 2 errors from his catcher, and then also he didn't allow a single stolen base by any of his pitchers this week. All right, Sheev versus Ando. ESPN Ando wins 10-4, and in Yahoo it's that increases to 14-7. Again, nothing too interesting here. Sheev suffered 2 wild pitches from Altavia, and Andy got an extra point from a pickoff by Mike Leake. Akash versus Ben. ESPN League, Akash dominated 13-2. In Yahoo League, it was only 13-7, but that difference has very little to do with Bizarro stats and more to do with rotating players. Ben had almost flawless defense, just 1 error from Machado, and then Akash picked up an extra point for a pickoff from Hendricks. And then the last one, the only one to change results, was in ESPN, Korea defeated me 9-6, and Yahoo I won 13-11. But once again, it had nothing to do with Bizarro stats, and it's only have to do with not rotating players, because actually all of the Bizarro stats went to Chris, so he just lost all of his offensive stats because of the rotating players. Only thing interesting here is that I had 3 wild pitches from Scherzer and a balk from Clayton Richard, who I since dropped. That's all this week. Come back at you next week.